Welcome to our channel Stoicism Tell Me. In today's video, we're diving into 9 powerful psychological strategies that can help you gain priority in any situation. Whether you're looking to stand out in your career, strengthen your relationships, or just get ahead in life, these tips are designed to give you an edge. Apply these strategies and watch how they can shift the dynamics in your favor. Let's get started. Here are 9 powerful psychological strategies to help you gain priority and influence in various aspects of your life. The reciprocity principle. When you give something of value first, people feel compelled to return the favor, whether it's a compliment, a small gift, or helpful advice. This strategy can create a sense of obligation, making others more likely to prioritize your needs. Social proof. People are more likely to follow your lead if they see others doing the same. Highlighting testimonials, endorsements, or showing that others trust you can make it easier for people to choose you over others. Scarcity. When something is perceived as rare or limited, it becomes more desirable. By emphasizing the exclusivity or limited availability of what you offer, you can make others more eager to secure it. Authority. People tend to respect and follow those who are seen as experts. Establishing yourself as an authority in your field, through credentials, experience, or knowledge, can make others more inclined to prioritize your opinions or requests. The power of asking. Sometimes, simply asking directly for what you want can be incredibly effective. Be clear and assertive in your requests, and you might be surprised at how often people will accommodate you. The foot-in-the-door technique. Start by making a small, easy-to-agree-to request. Once the person agrees to that, they're more likely to say yes to a larger request. This gradual build-up can lead to bigger wins. The door-in-the-face technique. This involves making a large request that you expect to be rejected, followed by a smaller, more reasonable request. The contrast makes the second request seem much more acceptable, increasing the chances that it will be granted. Building rapport. People are more likely to prioritize those they feel a connection with. Building rapport through genuine interest, active listening, and finding common ground can make others more willing to help you. The halo effect. People tend to assume that if you excel in one area, you excel in others as well. By highlighting your strengths and successes, you can create a positive overall impression that leads others to prioritize you in various situations. These strategies aren't about manipulation. They're about understanding human psychology and using that knowledge to navigate social interactions more effectively. Lesson number 1. The reciprocity principle. The reciprocity principle is a fundamental concept in social psychology that describes a powerful social norm. When someone does something for us, we feel a strong obligation to return the favor. This principle is deeply ingrained in human behavior and influences how we interact with others in both personal and professional settings. By understanding and leveraging this principle, individuals and organizations can build stronger relationships, enhance cooperation, and create a sense of mutual respect and trust. Lesson in 3 points. Innate human tendency. The reciprocity principle is based on the innate human tendency to feel compelled to repay acts of kindness. This is not just a cultural expectation, but a universal human behavior, observed across different societies and cultures. For example, if someone gives you a gift or helps you in a time of need, you're likely to feel a strong urge to do something in return, even if it wasn't explicitly asked for. Applications in marketing and negotiation. Businesses often use the reciprocity principle in marketing strategies by offering free samples, gifts, or trials to potential customers. This creates a sense of obligation, increasing the likelihood that the recipient will make a purchase or return the favor in some way. In negotiations, offering a small concession can encourage the other party to reciprocate, leading to a more favorable outcome. Ethical considerations. While the reciprocity principle can be a powerful tool for influence, it also raises ethical considerations. It's important to ensure that the use of reciprocity is not manipulative or coercive. Ethical use of this principle involves fostering genuine goodwill and maintaining transparency in your intentions. Overuse or misuse can damage trust and relationships in the long term. Lesson number 2. Social proof. Social proof is a psychological and social phenomenon where people mimic the actions of others in an attempt to reflect correct behavior for a given situation. This concept, introduced by psychologist Robert Cialdini in his book Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion, highlights how individuals look to others when making decisions, particularly in uncertain or ambiguous situations. Social proof is a powerful tool in marketing, social influence, and decision-making, as it leverages the idea that if others are doing something, it must be the right thing to do. Lesson in 3 points. The herd mentality. Social proof operates on the principle of the herd mentality, where people are more likely to conform to the actions of a larger group. This is evident in scenarios like online reviews, where positive ratings influence others to make similar purchasing decisions. The assumption is that the group behavior represents the correct choice. Types of social proof. Expert social proof. Recommendations or endorsements from credible experts in a particular field. Celebrity social proof. Endorsements from well-known celebrities. User social proof. Testimonials and reviews from existing users or customers. Wisdom of the crowd. Large groups of people showing a preference for a product or behavior. Peer social proof. Influence from people similar to oneself. Application of social proof. Social proof can be used strategically in various areas like marketing, product design, and social campaigns. For instance, showing the number of satisfied customers, featuring testimonials, or displaying social media followers can increase credibility and influence others to follow suit. Lesson number 3. Scarcity. Scarcity is a psychological principle that refers to the concept that people place a higher value on something that is scarce or limited in availability. This phenomenon is rooted in the fear of missing out, FOMO, and the idea that limited resources or opportunities are more desirable simply because they are rare. The principle of scarcity is widely used in marketing, sales, and even in personal relationships to influence decision-making and behavior. 3. Key points on scarcity. Limited availability increases perceived value. When an item or opportunity is scarce, people perceive it as more valuable. This is because the rarity signals exclusivity or importance, making it more desirable. For example, limited-time offers or exclusive products are often seen as more attractive because of their scarcity. Fear of missing out, FOMO. Scarcity taps into the psychological fear of missing out, which can drive people to act quickly or make decisions they might not otherwise consider. This fear is a powerful motivator and is often used in marketing to create urgency, such as with countdown timers or phrases like, "only a few left in stock." Social proof amplifies scarcity. When people see that others are also interested in a scarce item, it can further amplify its desirability. This is because social proof, seeing others' actions as a guide, can make the scarce item seem even more. Lesson number 4. Authority. Authority is one of the key principles of persuasion, rooted in the idea that people tend to follow the advice or instructions of those they perceive as knowledgeable, credible, or powerful. When someone appears to be an expert or holds a position of power, their opinions or commands are often taken more seriously, leading to higher compliance and influence. Lesson in 3 points: perceived expertise. People are more likely to trust and follow the guidance of someone they consider an expert. This perception can be enhanced through credentials, experience, or even the way someone presents themselves, e.g., wearing a uniform or speaking confidently. Legitimacy and trustworthiness. Authority is most effective when combined with trustworthiness. It's not just about having power or expertise. The authority figure must also be seen as having the right intentions and being honest. This combination creates a powerful influence over others' decisions and actions. Social proof and conformity. When others acknowledge or follow an authority figure, it reinforces the authority's influence. People often look to those in positions of power to determine appropriate behavior, especially in uncertain situations. This can lead to a cascade effect, where the influence of authority grows as more people conform. Lesson number 5. The power of asking. Asking the right questions can open doors to new opportunities. Whether negotiating a deal, seeking advice, or exploring new ideas, questions can reveal possibilities that might otherwise remain hidden. It signals initiative and can lead to unexpected and beneficial outcomes. Fosters deeper connections. When you ask questions, you show interest in others' perspectives, which can strengthen relationships and build trust. This practice promotes open communication and encourages a deeper understanding of those around you, whether in personal relationships or professional collaborations. Asking questions is a key driver of learning and growth. By seeking clarification, feedback, or new knowledge, you continuously expand your horizons. This habit cultivates a mindset of curiosity and lifelong learning. Lesson number 6. The foot in the door technique. The foot in the door, FITD technique, is a psychological strategy used in persuasion and marketing. The idea behind this technique is simple, yet powerful. By getting someone to agree to a small request first, they are more likely to comply with a larger request later. This technique capitalizes on the principle of consistency, where people feel compelled to act in ways that are consistent with their previous behaviors. Lesson in 3 points. Start with a small request. The first step in the FITD technique is to make a small, easily agreeable request. This could be something as simple as asking for a few minutes of someone's time or getting them to sign a petition. The key is that the request should be so minor that it is hard to refuse. Build on the initial commitment. Once the person agrees to the small request, they are more likely to agree to a larger request. This is because they begin to see themselves as the kind of person who supports the cause or idea presented. The initial agreement creates a sense of psychological commitment. Make the larger request. After establishing a pattern of compliance, you can make your larger request. The person is now more likely to agree because they want to remain consistent with their previous behavior. This larger request could be a more significant commitment of time, money, or effort. Lesson number 7. The door in the face technique. The door in the face, DITF technique, is a persuasive strategy often used in sales, negotiations, and social interactions. It involves making a large, unreasonable request that is expected to be refused, followed by a smaller, more reasonable request. The technique plays on the psychological principle of reciprocity, where people feel a social obligation to return a favor or concede after refusing a large request. Lesson in 3 points. Start with a large request. The first step in the door in the face technique is to present a large request that the other person is likely to reject. This request should be substantial enough to make the following smaller requests seem more reasonable in comparison. Follow with a smaller request. After the initial large request is refused, a smaller, more realistic request is made. This second request is the actual goal, and it appears more reasonable after the rejection of the first. Leverage reciprocity. The technique works because of the psychological pressure to reciprocate. When someone declines the large request and then is presented with a smaller one, they may feel compelled to agree, perceiving it as a concession on your part. This increases the likelihood of the second request being accepted. Lesson number 8. Building rapport. Building rapport is a fundamental skill in communication that fosters trust, understanding, and a sense of connection between individuals. Whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or casual interactions, the ability to establish rapport can significantly influence the quality of the exchange. By mirroring behaviors, showing genuine interest, and maintaining open communication, rapport creates a foundation for meaningful and effective interactions. Lesson in 3 points. Active listening and empathy. The cornerstone of building rapport is actively listening to the other person. This means giving your full attention, acknowledging their feelings, and responding in a way that shows understanding. Demonstrating empathy, putting yourself in their shoes, further deepens the connection. Mirroring and matching. People tend to feel more comfortable and understood when they are around others who mirror their body language, tone of voice, or speech patterns. Subtle mirroring can create a sense of similarity, making the other person feel more at ease and aligned with you. Authenticity and trust. Genuine interest in the other person's thoughts and feelings is crucial. Building rapport isn't about manipulation. It's about fostering real connections. By being honest, transparent, and consistent in your communication, you establish trust, which is the bedrock of any meaningful relationship. Lesson number 9, the halo effect. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person, company, or product influences our feelings and thoughts about their character or properties. For example, if we perceive someone as physically attractive, we are more likely to also think they are intelligent, kind, or capable, even if we have no concrete evidence to support these additional attributes. This bias can significantly impact decisions in areas like hiring, marketing, and personal relationships. Lesson in 3 points: influence of first impressions. The halo effect often stems from first impressions. When we encounter a positive trait in someone or something, such as attractiveness or success, we tend to generalize that positivity to other unrelated traits like intelligence or reliability. Impact on decision-making. The halo effect can skew our judgments and decisions. For instance, in a workplace setting, a manager might overestimate an employee's abilities based on one outstanding performance, leading to biased evaluations and decisions that may not be entirely merit-based. Counteracting the halo effect. Awareness is key to mitigating the halo effect. By recognizing our biases, we can make more objective evaluations by deliberately focusing on specific traits or qualities rather than letting one positive attribute overshadow others. This can lead to fairer and more accurate assessments in personal and professional settings.